Hi everybody, it's Brigit here, one of the Silverfit Pilates instructors, and this is Silverfit at Home, and it's the 10th in the series of Pilates sessions, and today we're going to focus on the classic, so very classic Pilates moves, and you'll probably be familiar with all of them if you've been doing my classes before. And they're very, very good. So without further ado, we'll make a start. And we're going to start in this position. So if you don't like cross-legged position, you can find an alternative. So something like this might be fine, or just kind of play around with it until you've got something comfortable. And we're just going to gently cradle our kneecaps. And as you exhale, you're just going to roll onto your back sit bones. And then we're going to swirl. So we're going to do a few swirls in one direction, and then a few swirls in the other direction. And I'm wearing my long sleeve sweater today because it's quite cold after the heat wave. Okay, and then we're here, and then just place your left fingertips down by your side and reach up with your right arm. So really, really stretch. You can telescope out of the ribs, and once you've got the length, go for a side bend. Lovely stretch here. And then we'll swap it over. Left arm comes up, stretch, reach towards the ceiling, and then go for your side bend. So we want to establish length before we bend. And then release. We'll place our hands on our shoulders, elbows together, and just opening out the chest. Keep that breathing up. And then change direction. We're opening out the upper back. Lovely for the neck area, all of this stuff. It really brings awareness to your the places that can hold a lot of tension around the chest and the upper back. And then we're going to shrug, release, shrug, release, shrug, release. Give yourself a shake, and then we'll just swivel around towards the front of the mat and just shimmy to the front of the mat. And we're going to roll down, and if you're not ready for that, you can roll onto your side and then lie on your back, okay? But if you are, we're just going to tuck the tailbone under, and we're going to roll down vertebra by vertebra by vertebra. And then we'll take a full body stretch. So you can interlace your fingers, take a full body stretch, flex the feet, and then swap the interlace of your fingers and point the feet. And then bring your arms back down by your side and bring the legs back in. Working the legs one at a time is a little bit gentler, so if you're feeling any like twinges in the back, one leg at a time should solve that. Okay, so from here we've got our spine in the neutral position, so the tiniest little curve in the lower back, and you want to have a nice long neck. So if you've got a tendency to sort of tip your head back and scrunch in the shoulders, you might want to pop a block or just some folded up clothing underneath your head just to keep the neck nice and long. This is quite important. Okay, so you know it's very easy to set up, and it will be very helpful when you go down the line. So with our setup, you're just going to place a hand on your belly and just cough and feel those muscles coming into play underneath your hand. Okay, and these are the muscles we want to engage. So as you exhale, you're going to brace the muscles, and as you inhale, let that go. Now, we want to maintain our neutral spine. So we'll do that again. Inhale, let that go. And repeat that. Try and maintain that neutral spine. So you feel that everything's kind of hugging into your center, like you're tightening up a belt. Okay, now start to think about the pelvic floor. So as you exhale, draw those pelvic floor muscles in and up. It's like you're holding in your toilet muscles, like, but we don't want to clench the bum cheeks when we're doing this. So you're holding in a wee, holding in a fart, but actually not clenching your bum cheeks. This is very internal. Deep, deep core. And then release, and we'll just tuck one knee in, and we'll tuck the other knee in, and now we're just going to add to that. So we're going to, as we exhale, we're going to imprint the spine. So as we exhale, you can still have your hand on your belly, and you're just going to lengthen the spine. You'll feel the pelvis roll under. You're engaging those pelvic floor muscles, and then as you inhale, let that go, release the spine back to neutral, and then repeat. Exhale. So this is a low load, but we're setting up. So it's a good foundational exercise, good basic. If we skip this bit out, we don't acknowledge it when we're doing the main exercises, the back isn't going to be so well supported and the form won't be quite so good. It's foundation stone. Okay, and we'll do one more like that. And then release. Okay, so arms are down by our sides, and we're going to have our feet, our knees and our hips all in line. And as you inhale, we're going to let the knees drop out to the side. So the knees are separating. And as you exhale, bring them back together. Spine in neutral. Okay, so have your neutral spine for this, if you can. Inhale, knees separate, rolling onto the outer blades of your feet. Exhale, draw them back together. Using your core, so we want to start to really feel these core abdominals working. Inhale, exhale, check in with the back of your neck. I can feel mine scrunching a little bit. Okay, and now we're going to bring the arms up here. We're going to imprint the spine, and as you inhale, we're opening the arms, opening the knees. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. And then tuck your knees into your chest. Have a rock from side to side. And with all of these exercises, you can just press pause and do a few more repeats if you want to. That's absolutely fine. Okay, and then replace your feet onto the floor one at a time. And we're going to bring the arms up like so. And you just want to let the shoulder heads drop into the sockets, so we're not grappling. Okay, you want to have the shoulder heads in the socket, so the shoulder blades are on the floor, and still maintain that long neck. And then we're going to bring the legs up one at a time. Okay, so we're here. And this is just a little bit short. It's just a bit smaller than a 90-degree angle. We don't want to be completely at 90 degrees because it overloads the hip flexors. So tuck in a little bit. And then we're going to toe tap. This is your inhale. This is your exhale. And then toe tap the other side. Inhale, exhale. Now you can keep your arms up in this position. You can put them back down on the floor if you want. Or what we're going to do now is the arm follows the leg and the other arm goes behind. It's a small movement. So left leg, left arm goes away from the body, and then the right arm goes behind. And I'll just do that a couple more times. So your shoulders should be strong to keep the arms well positioned, and your hips are strong to keep the legs well positioned. And we'll do one more each way. So we're testing our coordination here. We've got to be a little bit, the brain's got to get involved a little bit. Okay, and then we're here and tuck in and have a rock from side to side. Okay, so leg circles. So leg circles is very classic Pilates, and we're doing classic exercises today. And we can do them a number of ways. So you can just do them with one leg bent, and this gives you quite a lot of support, and you can circle that leg round. If you're very tight, or if you just need a little bit of extra support, you can, or if you just want to work the range a little bit more, you can use a band or a yoga strap will do, or even a dog's lead, anything that's sort of you will improvise. And what's quite nice when you use the band is you can just, your range will be bigger, okay? But be careful what's happening around the shoulders. We don't want to be too stressed around the shoulders. But today I'm just going to do it freestyle, okay? And then we're going to go for 1, 2, you can imprint the spine, 3, 4, and 5, and then you're going to change direction for 5, 4, 3, 2, and get some buoyant energy, and 1. Okay, give that a little shake, We'll swap it over. And before we start circling the leg, we need to just check in with our setup and just see how, and we don't want to be kind of too tense in certain body parts. We want to be relaxed in the upper body so that the effort is going into the right places. Okay, now I'm tighter on this side, so as the leg comes towards me, I've got to bend the knee a little bit more. And we go for 1, 2, that's my hip flexor popping if you can hear it, 3, 4, and 5, and then change direction for 5, 4, and we're keeping this leg as still as possible, 3, nice buoyant energy, 2, and 1, good, and then shake it out and release. And now's a good time to take a full body stretch. That hip flexor was really popping. That's quite a common, I don't want to call it an affliction, but it's a common thing that a lot of us have. It's not, it just feels a little bit when you go through it, but it's fine. Okay, so from here, we're just going to roll like a ball. Now, if you can, we can go forwards and backwards, okay? Be careful with this if you've got any osteoarthritis or osteopenia in the spine or anything that you feel might be detrimental or brittle bones, okay? Your option can be a side-to-side roll, or you can do a half roll, which is this, okay? So we've got options, we've always got options. And then if you are rolling like a ball, you can cross your ankles, and we're all going to meet on our hands and knees. Okay, so we'll find our setup. So our shoulders are over our wrists and our hips are over our knees, and we're going to inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, we are reaching forwards with the arm, backwards with the opposite leg, and then inhale, come back. And we're trying to keep it really strong and stable. So this is the brief, strong and stable, as opposed to okay, so you don't want to fling, we're keeping it really strong. You're trying to keep your trunk still. And I'm going to do 2 more, each combination. Try and keep your shoulders broad. So we don't want to pop the shoulders like that, you want to keep your shoulders broad. It's a good balance exercise. Use your core. And then we'll do 1 more each side, really reach, draw those abdominals in, and then the other side. And release. Sit back on your heels for a child's pose. You can have your knees wide apart, and if your backside doesn't reach your heels, don't worry, just it can be up in the air somewhere, that's absolutely fine. Good stretch here. And then we'll float onto our hands and knees. And then we're going to do a few press-ups without even thinking about it. Now, if your wrists are giving you problems, don't work through sore wrists, okay? You can change your hand position, or just do a forearm plank instead of the press-ups, okay? We don't want to work through sore wrists. It's not going to, they won't appreciate it. So with our press-ups, we're keeping our elbows tucked in, so we're like that. And then exhale, strong push away. This is not a push-up, okay, this is a child's pose. So you want to keep your forearms perpendicular with the floor. We'll do 2 more. The super strong amongst you might want to do a full press-up. So be careful if you're doing this that you're not going into your lower back. So you need to keep the straight line through the body. Okay, so we're back on our hands and knees, and then we're going to just release out the spine a little bit. So inhale and exhale. And we'll do 1 more this way. Inhale, exhale. And then we'll swap it over. Inhale as you open out crucifix, exhale. And 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, and then we're lying on our sides. So So we're going to bring the legs into this position. So we're at 90-90, you can maybe tuck in a little bit more. Okay, and we want to have our spine in a neutral position. So we're not in a fetal position. We've got a straight spine in neutral, and we're going to lift the top leg so it's at about hip height. The foot and the knee are at about hip height. Try not to let the foot fly up. We want to have a nice strong hip position. Okay, and then we lower and then we lift, and make sure the abdominals are working, and lower and lift and lower and lift. You can do this if you want, and lower and lift, and you can do this if you want. So you've got, you just take that stabilizer away, so your abdominals have got to do the job instead. Okay, and we'll hold it here, and imagine you've got charcoal on your knee. We're drawing circles for 5, 4, 3, buoyant energy again, 2, and 1, and change direction for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and make sure you're working those core muscles. And now we're going to straighten the leg, flex the foot, and lower and lift. Your bum muscles want to be working, your obliques want to be working, that's 2. We don't want to feel it in the hip flexors. 4 and 5, and we'll hold it there. Really press into your heels, zipping up. Arms are energized. Try not to let the arms sag. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Okay, and then we'll come into the mermaid position. And then from here, we're just going to, we want to keep the waistline muscles on, and we're going to rotate, and we're going to have a stretch. Now, this might be your stretch, this might be your stretch, or you might be able to get really deep into it, but make sure you're not kind of hurting anything. You don't want to feel any electrical pain or shooting pain or nasty pain. This should feel nice. Okay, if it doesn't, just do a child's pose instead. Walk the hands back. Okay, and then without using your arms, we're going to see if we can swap over. And then we'll shimmy down to the other side. And we're here. So zipping up, we want to keep the spine in neutral, or maybe a light imprint. So even though we're not lying on our back, you can energetically imprint rather than, you don't have to feel like you're using the floor. So we're going to lift the top leg, and we want it at hip height. And again, watch that foot doesn't fly up. You've got a torque in the hip here. So the hip muscles, the hip stabilizers are working to stop that from happening. And you can use this hand to stabilize yourself, or you can take it out of the mix, and you can do that. And if you're doing that, the core's working a little bit harder. And then we're lowering, and we're lifting, and lower, and that's 2. And we're using our bum muscles, that's 3. You can put your hand here and just check that the muscles are on, that's 4. And that's 5. And obviously, if you want to do more reps, just go ahead. Now I'm circling for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and change direction for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then press into the heel. It's like you're pressing against the wall. And as you press, you draw those abdominals in and up, and you create this opposition, which is so effective. Really takes the exercises to the next level. We lower and we lift. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And hold it here. And breathe, and see if you can make more out of it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Give yourself a little rub. And we're going to roll over onto our backs, and then we're going to tuck the knees into the chest. Now you can keep your head, neck and shoulders on the floor, or you can hold in your own strength, or if you've got a pillow or a couple of blocks, you can maybe put your head on that, okay? So we've got options, and you can change, you can mix and match the options, okay? What we want to be careful of is where we're in our own strength that we don't start to collapse, okay? So use the prop if you need it. Anyway, we're tucking in, and then you're going to lengthen your left leg away and really pull the right thigh in towards you. And then we swap, and swap, and swap. And we're going to do one more each side. And then release. And I can feel my abdominals working quite hard there, so I'm just going to windscreen wiper my knees from side to side and let them recover. And then it's really nice just to let your head roll from side to side to just give your neck a break. Okay, and now we're going to do the 100. So again, super classic Pilates exercise, and I'm going to kind of progress it as I go along. So you'll have lots of options here. And we can alter the legs, and we can alter the upper body. So with the upper body, you can start off like this. You can have your head on the pillow or the block. Or again, you can be in your own strength. And you'll know, if you're doing this, you really want to engage all the way up the spinal line. You don't want to be sort of half on the floor and just lolloping the neck, because it will put all the pressure on the neck. And just a note on necks, if it starts to fatigue, you know, obviously you can just release your head back to the floor and just let the neck recover. The neck's usually the first thing that kind of picks up the fatigue. Okay, so we're going to make a start, and as I say, I'll progress it as we go on. So imagine you're pressing mud, okay? And we inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. And release. Oh, that last one was really hard. So if it gets too hard, you can make it easier again. Okay, so we're just going to windscreen wiper the legs from side to side. Really need to release the abdominals after that lot. Okay, so we're going to roll over onto our fronts again, and I'll just do it from this angle this time for a back extension. So we did the last few exercises were in flexion, so we want to open out the chest now and just mobilise the upper back, just to get the balance there. So we're pressing the tops of the feet in. We've got our forearms down by the side of the mat. We have our imaginary P under the nose. Okay, energise the legs, draw the abdominals in, and an inhale to prepare. And as you exhale, roll that P forwards. Roll it forwards, roll it forwards, roll it forwards. Start to roll it up. Light pressing of the forearms. Inhale as you release back down. And then again. Now you're pressing the forearms, but you're also getting a sense of drawing them back towards the bottom of the mat. Off position. See if you can present your sternum forwards without scrunching the neck. We want traction in the spine and length. We don't want to compress it. And we don't want to do any, cause any problems here in the lumbar. You want to keep it really strong. And if you're finding you're pinching in the lower back, don't lift up so high. Maybe engage the core a little bit more. You need those abdominals to keep the back supported. And now I'm going to float my arms off the floor. Okay, now I'm going to progress it. You can spread your wings. We're or you can stick with your arms on the floor. Okay, and we're going to hold it here. And now we're going to lift the legs as well. So we're really just pivoting on our hips for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then come back. Sit back on your heels for another child's pose. And then we'll float onto our hands and knees, and we're going to do some cat stretches, which is a really lovely stretch to do after those back extensions. So inhale, exhale, and I'm just going to turn around. Okay, and then it's inhale, head up, tail up, exhale. Really use that breath. And then we're just going to cross the ankles, and then just, you can roll over and shoot your legs in front, or if that's not very nice for you, just move your bum over to one side and sweep the legs around and just shuffle or slide to the bottom of the mat. And then we've got our legs in the V position for Thor, okay? So we're going to go left hand to right foot, and then back to centre, and then the other hand to the other foot, and back to centre. So we're reaching as we reach back, and keep your legs still as if you're set in concrete. Exhale as you reach, inhale as you come back. Okay, I'm going to add a progression so you can roll back and then reach. You might want to roll all the way back, or you might not be able to get all the way back, it doesn't matter. Just kind of, you want to call it appropriate to your abilities. Okay, and you might find to start off with you can't go so far back, and then you you sort of, the range improves as you go on. Try not to fling yourself around, you want to keep control here. Okay, and that's the last one. And then we're sitting here. Now you can always pop your bum on a block if you need to. And the arms come forwards. And then as you exhale, you're going to reach forwards. And as you're reaching forwards, you're flexing your feet and you're sucking your belly back. And we're getting a lovely stretch for our spine here. And then we sit up. And now we'll bring the arms up and over, and we're straight in the spine to the bra strap, and we're going to go up and over, flex your feet, so the stretch comes higher up. Okay, and then we're here, and just give the arms a little roll, release. Bring the legs together, have your feet hip width apart, we're going to roll down. And we're going to do this exercise called the crisscross. We'll build up into it, so we'll start off with the legs just still, and our head is in our hands, and as you exhale you curl and twist, and it's not this, we're not grappling, we're not kind of flinging. As you twist, you want to think opposite chest to opposite knee, okay, and this arm, the lower to the floor arm, is not just sort of hanging. Create some tension, like you're pressing that arm against the wall of air, and then come back. Now your neck shouldn't be suffering because it's supported in our arms, and the more you twist, the more you've got to get engaged here. So try not to just fling your elbows towards your knee, it's chest to knee. Okay, and we're going to bring some legs into it. As I say, we're progressing, so you can always stick with the previous version, and now we're going to do that. And if you're using the legs, do it like you mean it, so really press against the wall of air. And this is pretty hard, especially when you get all the muscles working. If you do it all like half baked, it's not hard, but you're not working, so we want to make it work, and it's harder, but it's better, and it works the muscles better, and it keeps us safer. And I can hardly talk. And now we'll release back down, and the arms are over our head, and you can spread your legs, spread your feet further apart, knock the knees together, and then just let the knees windscreen wiper from side to side again. Okay, and then just heel toe the feet back. We're going to do scissors, and again this is another really classic Pilates exercise. So scissors are, the legs are up in the air to start with. Now, you can put your head on a block. I think I'll do that today. Okay. Just feels nicer for the neck, and then you bring one leg towards you and the other leg shoots away, and then we swap, and you can do a little pulse, Now, as you can see, I'm quite tight in my hamstrings, so the leg that comes towards me, I've got to bend the knee a bit, otherwise I'll lose form, I'll come out of alignment. So prioritise being in alignment rather than, if that leg's straight, my bum lifts off the floor and it all goes a little bit awry. So focus on alignment and form rather than just, going for the big move for the sake of it. Okay, and now I'm just going to bring whatever leg's closest to me, I'm going to bring that in, and I'm just going to go for a bit of a stretch here, hamstring. Remember, belly of the muscle, okay, and then you can circle out the ankle, stretching it out, swap it over. This is even tighter than the other one, so I'm having to keep quite a bend in this knee, because if I was to straighten it, my bum lifts off and I go into the neck and it all just goes, as I say, it just goes a little bit awry. So be patient. You can circle the ankle if you want to multitask it. Okay, and then we'll do our number 4 stretch. So right over left. I'm going to get rid of this now. So you can just press that leg away, or you can cradle behind your left thigh. You can do some variations. So if you've got a signature you want to put on this, go ahead. If you've got a completely different glute stretch you want to do, go ahead. Some of them are effective for some people and not for all. Okay, and then we'll swap it over. This one, though, generally tends to be very effective for most of us. Good, shake out the legs and we'll roll over onto our sides. And then we're going to stretch out the inner thighs like so. Now again, you can sit on a block, I think I'll do that for this one. Okay, so we're just going to put the soles of the feet together. And you can use your hands or you can use your elbows just to press the inner thighs away, but resist back, okay? So you're getting some resistance and some strength going in the inner thighs. So you're pressing the arms on the inner thighs, but you're pressing the inner thighs back onto the arms. Okay, and then give that a little shake. And then just come into a cross-legged position if you can. And we'll just go for the slightly weird way. Okay, now if you can't, don't worry, you can just do an alternative. So find something that suits you. And we're going to sit bolt upright, and then we're just going to ease off a little bit. Okay, so we want to just get that spine nice and long. Okay, and then we'll just do a few head rolls in one direction. Change direction. And then left fingertips down by your side, right arm reaches up. Lovely side stretch. We're completing the loop, finishing as we started, and then over to the other side. Cradle your knees, draw the abdominals in, C curve in the back. This is your exhale. This is your inhale. So it's a seated cat-cow stretch. And we'll do one more. And then spread your wings, present your sternum to the ceiling, palms together. Give yourselves a clap. Namaste. Thank you very much. Number 10, can you believe it? So any feedback, let us know. If you've got any requests, let us know. And then we can keep everything sort of relevant. Okay, so let us know if you've got any requests. See you next time, everyone. Bye.